Hello everyone, it's Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo here for a new format and a new show name. So this was called Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous in the past. Well, that's our group name. And with the changes that are coming to the show, kind of forced on us, but in retrospect, much better, the show is going to take on a new name, and it's going to be the SCAA CIT REP, or CIT REP for short. And that is going to begin with this show, episode 1. It may be a new beginning, but it will be pretty much a combination of what Ben's Day was and what Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous was. So let's get into a little bit of the news. So I watched ATV just a few minutes ago, and it was 23 minutes of burn down. I am finding that CIG is becoming more and more transparent with things that are holding up the actual release of the PTU version of 3.0. Being one of the people that will be in the PTU, because I am part of the concierge group, I've been very excited, but today to hear that there's 197 issues and that they're getting through them as quickly as possible, I can't say that I'm confident that I'm going to see this anytime soon. I'm also not losing my cool, I'm not losing patience. I'm actually finding myself giving them more freedom, more leeway in the delays that they've been showing us. And I think it's because they are truly showing us that they are trying to put this out in such a way that when we get it, we just have to go through the minor bugs and start helping them move forward towards 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and moving in all the systems, professions, the ships, everything that we want, everything that we need, everything that we've envisioned this game to be. So I'm getting excited, but I don't think it's coming anytime soon. I wrote down this date, and I don't know if it's going to come anything close to this. Who knows? Maybe it will come sooner. Maybe it will come a little bit later. But I'm saying February of 2018. Now, if we think about what's happening over the next month, so this week is going to be Thanksgiving coming up, right? A week from today is Thanksgiving. So they're not going to have a full week of work next week, plus they're getting ready for the ship sale and potentially another new concept ship sale. We've all seen pictures of the new Anvil ship that we think is a new Anvil ship. It could just be an artist rendition of things that are in the lore of Anvil, but they're going to be getting that ready. And then they have to get the Squadron 42 live stream done, which they've said the live stream was going to be in December, and it was going to entail all the information they can give us on Squadron 42. So a lot of things have to come our way over the next month. They promised us for the full roadmap to release of Star Citizen. That means from here all the way to when it goes live. And they also promised us that same roadmap for Squadron 42. So there's a lot of internal workings. Yes, there's a lot of teams working on individual items, but it's the same upper echelon group that has to see all the things that are going on. So I'm not sure if it's going to delay or if it's just going to... I'm thinking it's going to delay. I think Chris has to focus on the things at hand, and since everything has to go past him, I'm thinking February. So I'm going to follow up a little bit on a story from last episode, and that was on the Optane. The Optane is Intel's new hard drive technology, or storage technology, we should call it, because it's not a hard drive, it's solid state. And I think I just wanted to say that the more I look at this, the more I think that it's kind of a steal at $389 for the lower end one and $600 for the higher end one. And I'm going to just say it this way. The drives that we use today, the SSDs, they have a finite lifespan. We all know that. And it has to do with them having they don't have an infinite number of reads and writes. So a lot of the drives that we buy today, in order to give us the length of ownership that we want, they'll have a little bit more space on them than is needed. And that way, with whatever algorithm they're running, they can move data around the drive without hitting the same cells all the time to give you a 3 to 5 year life out of it. If you rewrote the Optane drive every single day, thousands of times, you would have 5 years of life on it. The durability of these drives is out of this world, and they plug right into a PCIe slot. I'm thinking more and more when you're coming up with how often Star Citizen is going to be hitting that drive by loading different assets, by going between different systems. Having that type of durability is going to be not imperative, but it's going to be a huge luxury. It's going to be a huge importance to the highest ends of the users, the highest, let's just say the highest ends of users. And guess what? We already had to build $2,000 computers to play Star Citizen. We are the highest end users of PCs. I believe that these drives are definitely going to make us, well, they're going to benefit us. And being that they also come with a $170 ship, let's say it's $170, we all know it's probably $200, $225 somewhere over there. They really do have a pretty enticing price tag while the Saber Raven is still included in them. I know it's a kind of weird way, or for some of you, unacceptable way of getting you to buy into more Star Citizen stuff. But this is one of those things that I really had to go back and think about hard, and I do support it. All right, so this is going to be a short one this week because there's not really a lot of information. I could talk all about procedural cities. I think that's great, but I think that type of show needs to be done when it's actually live, in-game, and we can walk around it. But procedural cities are cool. Go to this week's ATV, see what it took to get them in there. It's pretty much less than half of the show this week, since more than half of the show this week was burned down. So let's talk about the new format, and this is going to be a very important piece of it, okay? So the first thing is, contrary to what everyone is starting to think, Ben's Day is not dead. I've said this in my Discord channel, but it's not dead. It's also not going to be on the same schedule that it was before. Instead, we have a relationship with CIG that's going to provide us with guests 2, sometimes 3 and 4 times, but we're going to say most months, 2 times a month, we'll have a different developer on the show. So let's talk about why this is great, all right? So the great part of this is that Ben couldn't answer all the questions, and frequently would say that's a Tony Z question, that's a Aaron question, that's a Brian question. In other words, Manchester, Frankfurt, and Austin. We now have somebody in Austin that's going to give us access to everybody, pretty much. And that access to everyone is going to be involved this way, or it's going to come about this way. I'm going to ask you for your help. So for episode 2 or 3, whatever it comes to be, we're going to have Eric Karen Davis on. So that's the announcement of who's going to be on the show. Second piece of this is my Thursday night streams, which are on twitch.tv/starcitizenaa. The first part of it, starting at 8:30 Eastern Time, will be dedicated to taking questions from those that watch. And as time goes on, pretty much rehashing the show from the previous episode. But we're going to take your questions, we're going to vote on them, and we're going to move them into my question list for Eric. I'm also going to open up the next day, the following day, which will be the Fridays. I'm going to open up a thread on my Discord channel, which you'll be able to get in the comment section below. So just join the Discord, and you'll be able to leave questions for whoever the guest is. We'll then record the show, and then we're going to rinse and repeat. So we should be able to see at least 2, and I'm thinking sometimes 3, sometimes 4 developers a month. Now here's the good part. Ben's Day is not dead. Ben will be a regular on the show, meaning that he will be a repeat, right? He'll be a repeat or a return guest on the show often. I can't guarantee you it will be twice a month, once a month, or once every other month, but he will be our most heavily repeated guest. Whenever they don't have anybody else, they're going to have Ben come on the show. I think this is great because Ben and I have that relationship already, but this also gives me an opportunity to build a relationship with other devs inside of Cloud Imperium Games and bring you your questions answered by them. And it also takes the burden of them putting together a show like this. I am not part of CIG. They are not giving me special treatment. I promise you that, because if you make the same contacts that I made, which I will help any of you that have podcasts, streams, or YouTube channels, I'll help you make the same contacts. Can't guarantee you they'll be able to give you exactly what I have, but I can't guarantee they're going to give me exactly what you'll get. But I do have a relationship with them. I do know many of the people in CIG. I've made friends with, obviously, Sandy, with Ben. I am pretty tight with David Haddock. I know Chris Smith. I've talked to him a few times. We've had him on the show. So I've got relationships with people. I've built them. I've nurtured them. And I've actually, I've made it so I can bring you the information that I brought to you on the show. Now, I was pretty regular with my shows up until August of 2015. And they've been pretty sporadic since. And you've afforded me that, and I thank you for that. I can't tell you that's going to change because I do go to school full-time and I work full-time. But what I can guarantee you is that these new shorter shows are going to come to you. There's a lot coming in the future. We will, on SCAA CIT REP, and yes, I say we because there's some other people behind the scenes. My mod on my Twitch stream is Notable Joe, and sometimes Sophie Girl comes in to do it. So I have a couple of other people that are also part of this, but we will be covering the sale. We will be covering the live stream. We will be covering any major events that come out of CIG. All right, for those of you in Atlanta and that have attended Bar Citizens, I have some, I'm not going to say it's wonderful news. It's good news because I don't know what's going to happen at this point. But the home of the Atlanta Bar Citizen, which is Battle and Brew, has been purchased. So if you know, I think it was November 5th, it was closed. And we kind of got the gist when we were there that they were making a deal with somebody to bring on a new investor to reopen after it closed, and that happened. So what does this mean for us in Atlanta? It means that we might have our home back for Bar Citizen. In the meantime, if you go to the Discord channel for the Atlanta Bar Citizen, I believe we're meeting in an Irish pub. I'll put the information in the comments section below. All right, again, Twitch channel is twitch.tv/starcitizenaa. If you want to help the show, keep it going because, God, I love bringing you information about Star Citizen. Just go, well, if you can help me, go to patreon.com/Batgirl. And if you feel like the show is great, give it a thumbs up. If you think it needs more help, you can give it the thumbs down. But please be constructive in your criticism so I can bring you the show that you want. So I got for you this week. Thank you for joining me. And with that said, you all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon.